The required reading list: 5 books that I think every trader should read. I'm Speculator Seth. Join me every morning from 8:20 to 10:30 Eastern Time for live day trading, financial, and political analysis. One of the questions that I get asked a lot when I'm doing my streaming is what book recommendations that I have, and I really recommend reading books. Of course, the best thing that you can do for your trading is always to trade, but I do think that books, especially when you're starting out, can be really helpful. And there are 5 books that I would recommend because these books give you a really good foundation that you can use for a basis of your knowledge about the markets. And of course, there's plenty of other good books out there, so if there's a book that you would recommend, please let us know in the comments. This could be a really great resource for traders. And of course, I will have links to all of the books on my list in the video description where you can go and buy them on Amazon. So the first book that I recommend is the Technical Analysis of Stock Trends, and this is really like the Old Testament of trading. This is the book that popularized technical analysis, which is analyzing patterns in the price of stocks and commodities. Now, I personally don't use technical analysis a whole lot in my own trading, and I know many people do not believe in technical analysis at all, but I still think that this book is a good read, and the reason is because technical analysis is so ubiquitous in the markets. There's just so many things that you're not going to understand, so many contexts that you're going to miss, and you're not going to be able to understand what other traders are saying. So even if you don't use it as signals in your own trading, I think that it's important information to know. And this book has a lot of really good information that just explains why markets work the way that they do. They really go through literally every pattern you're ever going to encounter and what are kind of the underlying fundamentals, what people are thinking when those patterns are playing out, so that when you see them in real life, you're not going to be surprised. You're going to understand what the range of possibilities are. The next book that I would recommend is Mind Over Markets, and if the Technical Analysis of Stock Trends is the Old Testament, then Mind Over Markets is the New Testament. And this is the book that popularized market profile, analyzing stocks based on how much time or volume they spent at specific prices. And this is an absolutely essential way to analyze markets. There are so many key levels and behaviors that you really need to understand. And again, it's very popular. So if you don't understand market profile, there's going to be so many things out there that other traders are talking about that you're just going to have no clue what they're saying. This book also gives you a really good overview of what the different types of days are. You just can't trade every day the same. Some days are really slow, some days are trending, and this book, it gives a good overview about what the different types of days are, why they occur, what are the fundamentals and the market influences behind them, things that you can really use as a basis for your own analysis. Every day I start out looking at a market profile chart and trying to determine what type of action we're in. Was yesterday a trend day or range bound day? I think that it's absolutely essential information to have. The third book that I would recommend is No BS Day Trading. And this is really where I got my own strategy from. I really credit this ebook with how I learned how to trade, and it teaches order flow. There's just no better way to learn how order flow works. This is how orders are actually hitting the market, how price moves up and down on the smallest of time frames. This is a lot of information that a lot of traders just don't know about, and it is probably the most important thing that you could be looking at. This book also really goes into the nitty-gritty of getting started, what products you should trade, how you set up your machine, your broker, all of these things that you really need to know when you're a beginner that I just don't feel is done as well anywhere else. John Grady really is the true master. I think if he ever says something that's different from me, you should just trust him. He's absolutely great. He also has a lot of good videos on his YouTube page, so I would definitely go and check those out as well. The fourth book that I would recommend is One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch, and this goes into fundamental analysis. So analyzing stocks based on the fundamentals of the company, how much money they're making. And again, if you're a trader, it might seem like, well, why do I need to know about valuing stocks? But this is really important information because it helps you understand how Wall Street thinks. Peter Lynch is also just full of so much wisdom. This guy is a total legend. He consistently beat the market with a large fund. That is not an easy task. He really knows what he's talking about, and he's absolutely somebody that has great insights into how markets work that I think every trader should know. The last book that I would recommend is Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. And I recommend this book mostly because it's just a really fun read. So this book is based on the experiences of Jesse Livermore, who was an absolutely legendary trader. And it's just so fun to read because he goes over all of his experiences and the things that happened in the market during his day. And you're going to turn around and you're going to say, hey, that's what's happening today. And he just provides so much insight into how markets work and particularly how people think, the overall market psychology that I just don't think is done as well anywhere else. He also has rules that I think are just the absolute golden rules. Trust me, you will save yourself so much grief. He went through it and he knows where many of the large pitfalls are. And so I think that this is information that everybody should read before they start trading. So the reason I recommend these 5 books is because it gives you a really solid overview of markets. After you've read these books, you will understand technical analysis, market profile, order flow, fundamental analysis, and market psychology. And this will be absolutely key going forward to help form your understanding of markets, so that when markets change, and they will change, you will be able to change with them. And again, these aren't the only good books out there. There's a lot of books that I really wanted to include on this list, but I wanted to keep it to those 5 for the fundamentals. But if there's a book that you really like, please let us know in the comments below. I think that this could be a really good resource for new traders, so I'd love to hear your comments. I want to remind you that I stream every morning, so if you have any questions, please come in and say hi. We have a great community and we would love to have you, so I hope to see you then. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.